Put him in for life? Well, we now need to get mentally evaluated. If this goes well, we get out. If it goes bad, we stay in. We need to convince her we're safe.
Mr. Henderson?
Why, hello there, miss. How are you doing this fine
hello.
evening?
I am doing wonderful. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing absolutely splendid. Unfortunately, the food here isn't very appetizing. I'm not much for canned food.
Yeah. Right.
I can give you two some private.
Oh, you don't need
that
to
would
leave.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Feel free to come inside,
Oh,
officer. It's been a long time since we've seen each other.
You can.
I like it
you
on the
can
other
leave.
side of the bars and being
Yeah.
honest. Miss Plum, you don't have any weapons on you though, do you?
No, I don't.
Mind if I do a quick pat down just to make sure you know?
Go right
Probably hard
ahead.
to hide something in there, but
Yeah.
A touchy little fellow, isn't he?
listen. I'll be outside.
I'll see you soon, officer.
I sure fucking hope not.
Wow. Left quite an impression on him.
I think I'm just a little misunderstood is all.
Misunderstood. Why do you think you're misunderstood?
Well, let me ask you a question, miss. Why do you think I'm inside this penitentiary, this maximum security cage?
Because you can't seem to stop attacking people.
Well, that would imply I was warned.
Explain.
Well, you see, I went on a bit of an adventure. And things got a little out of hand, I would say. I didn't have enough time to calm down and realize what it is that I was doing, what I was taking away. I was taking away other people's liberties and their choices. I was thinking about myself and the hunger I had inside me. I was sort of relating people to animals. I mean, think about it, miss. Those cows you eat every day. They're trapped, aren't they? They don't get a choice whether they get eaten or not. And I just figured I could eat them.
Yeah, well, I choose not to eat meat, so...
That's quite interesting. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just, don't believe in other beings' life for food.
Well, you see, I am a carnivore, and I don't necessarily discriminate between one type of meat and another kind of meat. In fact, I think the state feels the same way. Cannibalism isn't exactly illegal, is it?
Well, depends on the consent of the person that you're...
Well, that's where my folly
Did
was.
anyone consent?
They did not. And that's where I think things went wrong. And that's the kind of thing that I've been pondering while inside this little 12 by 12 jail cell.
All right.
It's something
Why
I'm
don't you
very
tell me-
remorseful for.
I know. Honestly, this isn't the first case of this in the city.
Really?
Didn't,
There's others like me.
Really? Mm-hmm. There was another one that was very, 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 very sorry, and they would never do it again.
Ooh.
Yeah, they kept doing it.
Were
But
they
anyway.
a cannibal as well? Like myself?
Oh, yes.
Were they really? What was their name?
Yes. I let's not worry about them right now. We're here to discuss you,
Oh, of course.
and yeah, this is all about you right now. We'll talk about that later.
I was just really excited to know there might have been somebody else like me.
All right.
I'm sure
well,
you understand.
let me. Oh yes. So when did you start on this adventure of consuming human flesh?
Well, I don't exactly remember what day it was. But it was just that one day when I woke up real hungry. And I needed to quench my appetite, so to speak. And that was the only day I ever did it. I promise, Pinky.
So that was the only time you've ever thought about it. You just woke up one day and thought, I would like to eat human.
Well, you have to understand. You have to understand something. This all started when I first tried human flesh. My wife's placenta, after she had my kid. After which she allowed me to devour her up. Purely consensual. But things happened. A lot of things happened between then and now. And like I said, I wasn't thinking straight at the time. It was a good source of protein, though.
Right.
Have you ever had one of those feelings where you need to eat something specifically? Maybe from a restaurant or a grocery store. And you can't find it.
Yeah.
And it's in the back of your mind. And your mind says, I need to try more of it. That's what it was.
All right. So when you ate the placenta, what happened to you physically? What went through your mind? Go ahead and explain everything that moment it happened.
Well, at first I wasn't exactly very interested, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, the idea behind eating a placenta isn't exactly the most appetizing thought for most individuals. You think of a plasticky bag made out of flesh. But it was a tradition in a family. Something about good health or whatnot. So I had a taste. And strangely, it felt real. It tasted quite good.
What tradition? Tradition in the family. Explain that one.
Well, it's just some kind of cultural thing that her family used to do. It's very customary to eat the placenta after the newborn's birth. I believe it's called plantosography or something like that. I don't quite remember. Apparently it helps the ladies with depression. And with postmarital, what is it called?
Postpartum depression.
That's right. I was mostly eating it to show her it was okay.
Moral support.
Exactly.
All right. So between that incident and the next time you decided to eat human flesh, what was going on in your life?
Well, not too much. Working a steady job at the bank. Doing my 9 to 5. Taking care of my kids.
How many children do you have?
Well, I had two. The other one died. Oh.
What? Can you tell me what happened?
It was a tragic car crash. It was used as a hostage in a bank robbery. It happened so fast. He come over to show his dad see his dad working at the bank. It wasn't a problem at first, but things escalated really quickly. The robbers came in all black masked. Had them take our money. Not us personally, but just whatever was in the bank. They made their demands, and before they were about to leave, they must have decided on a whim to pick up the nearest person they saw and bring him with them. Of course, I was devastated at the time, pleading that the police to give me status as to what was going on, and then that's what I learned. The driver of the vehicle had slammed into a wall during the chase. They all died, including my son. But that has nothing to do with why we're here.
Well, I'm trying to get a history of how your life has gone.
Of course.
What led up to what you've done.
Well, I guess I can understand that. I'm not exactly a psychologist.
Right. I mean, just to talk about what you did that day, I mean, that wouldn't be doing my job. I need to find out when you got a craving and why and how it makes you feel.
To be honest, like I said, my wife used to let me feast on some of her flesh every so often. Did you know that human flesh does grow back, including the meat, as long as you maintain a fairly healthy diet? I didn't mean any kind of harm to these people, because if I did, I would have killed them. But no, I just wanted a taste. Originally, I just wanted to know whether they tasted any different. I take that back.
And did they?
At first, I mostly just wanted more because my wife wasn't around any longer. She left with my other kid. She kind of blamed me for his loss. And it wasn't until many months later that the craving started to kind of take over. And no, it ain't kind of anything too crazy. I just kind of thought to myself, maybe if I just have a little bite. And so, what happened after that was, I found somebody, and I had a taste. I wasn't planning to kill him or nothing. I brought my sewing kit. And after I took the slice, I made sure to tie him back up. Like I said, they heal. And I'm pretty good at sewing. And then after that one, I sort of just started to wonder whether somebody else would taste any different. Because he tasted a bit different than my wife. But I was being selfish. I wasn't really thinking about others in those situations. I was mostly just interested in having a little nibble.
All right. Well, can you explain to me then why you were taunting the officer who brought me down here?
Oh, because he's an asshole.
You believe that you should taunt people that you feel are assholes?
If you're being discriminated against, absolutely.
Go ahead and explain that.
Well, think about it. You said yourself you never eat meat. You really like to eat your vegetables, and that's okay. I'm not going to judge you. But I imagine sometimes you probably get a lot of shit from a lot of people questioning what it is that you eat and why you don't eat any meat. Probably think to yourself, you know what? I'm going to tell them to go fuck themselves. And that's what I'm doing. Just in my own kind of way.
Right, but their opinion doesn't matter to me, so...
Well, you
Don't
can
bother.
imagine not everybody's like you. I'm sure you thought about it, though.
Alright, well...
She's
I
just
have
a
more
little
important things
bunny
to think about.
eating a little vegetables.
So, how are you dealing with not being able to access any flesh? What's on in here?
Well, quite frankly, I've been doing quite well. Like I said, the taste of swine is very similar, and that's been doing me quite well. And between
The
that
taste of
of swine,
wine, okay. I'm sorry I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
well, I was just gonna say that I've kind of started to get used to it. Slowly but surely.
Alright. Well, have you ever seen a psychiatrist or psychologist? Any therapy of any sort?
I did. Miss Kizzy, she kind of mostly spent most of her time judging me.
Judging you?
That's right. Wondering why I'm such a disgusting human being for eating human meat. Who's he to judge me? So it didn't go so well.
Right. Well, you do understand that in humans, it's pretty much hardwired in our brains that it's not good to eat other people. Even in the animal kingdom, there aren't many, if any, eat their own species.
Well, that's not very true. There's a difference between cultural beliefs and human beliefs. Is it not?
Well, there are, rituals that,
What about in New
throughout
Guinea?
history, but... Right.
And then
But
the people
you
in
do
New Zealand.
realize in New Guinea, they've contracted a disease from eating
And what about
brains.
sharks and dogs and crabs and the birds? I mean, even the pigs are gonna eat each other. Isn't that strange, Smith? That even pigs eat their own. And we taste so similar to them.
Well, I didn't say didn't happen. It's a rarity.
I'd like to
a
say
few
there's
that
a
do.
lot of things, Miss, that are rarities. There's a lot of things that are considered taboos. There's a lot of taboos that were taboos many years ago. That ain't taboos any longer. A lot of people used to say, hey, you shouldn't do that. You ain't hardwired to be doing that.
Right.
Who's to say I'm wrong? Who's to judge me?
Well, the people who did not give you consent to remove a piece of their body to consume.
Well, like I said, Miss, I am remorseful for what I did to them. I wasn't thinking about their feelings, only mine.
So this is the only time you've ever gone on an adventure of consuming other people's flesh, not talking about, your wife.
Non-consenting, yes. And I don't think I could ever do such a thing anymore. When I saw him on the trial, I was really saddened. I wasn't thinking they would think anything of it. I thought maybe they'd be impressed at the time. I didn't realize what I did. Some of them were really hurt. I don't like hurting people.
All right. Well, let me give you a little scenario. So, say that I say that I tell people that you're remorseful and you're not going to do it again unless there's consent. And you've lied to me. And you go right back to doing what you did before. How are people going to look at me? How is that going to work for my job? That it's going to look like I didn't do my job. That I let you slip through the cracks. And I've released you on society again. What you did before.
Well, would you be really doing your job if you're thinking more about yourself than your patients?
Well, we've had this problem before. That's why I'm a little concerned.
Well, I don't think
3
you're really that
times.
would be very responsible for the guy that you might have hurt or the guy that was let go. I mean, if you had
Well,
to
I
take
didn't deal with him.
responsibility of all your patients like that, well, you probably wouldn't have many good psychologists. I mean, think about it.
Right. Let me
Everybody's
tell you,
wired different. Not all of
I
us
know.
make same mistakes more than once. That
But there's a
said,
lot of people you've upset.
and does being
a lot of people
upset,
you upset.
well, does their upsetness make a difference, really?
What do you mean? Does it make a difference?
That sounds more political to me than anything else.
Well, from what you've done to them, you've caused them a new level of anxiety and fear. And they feel victimized. And they also need therapy to deal with the incident that happened to them.
Well, let me ask you something, Miss. How many tragedies take place in the city day in and day out? Quite a bit.
I don't know. I don't keep track.
And the victimizers, well, they're probably running rampant in the city right now.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is they get a second chance, and I've been thrown in here. I might have to stay in here the rest of my life, not even given a chance to try to change my life around.
All right. Well, that's why I'm here. I just wanted to push a little button just to see how you reacted. I apologize if it upset you.
No, it's perfectly fine. I understand I did something wrong. I don't want to hurt people. And I'm really sorry I did.
All right. Are you willing to speak with other therapists? Because we have a couple others.
Absolutely.
Because from past experience, and I'm not just talking about the person before, the other cannibal. I think a few sessions before we fully decide. I mean, one interview, I'm going to call this an interview, isn't going to cut it. I think we need a couple, to meet
absolutely.
the other psychologists. And then you can decide which one you would like to report back to. I want to give you options. I do believe that you do have rights. And I want to make sure that you're comfortable with whoever you're speaking to, because I am going to suggest that you seek therapy often, maybe, once a week. But I can get some other people. We can set up an appointment to where you can meet a couple of them and have you decide. How do you feel about that?
I'd be absolutely okay to be able to go to psychology every week.
All right. Well, I'd like to set up something before we can let you out. We do need a couple more sessions to determine. And like I said, I want to get more people involved. I don't think some of the other psychologists have experienced this. So you could help them, and they can help you.
Of course.
All right.
So when can we do this? What about today?
Well, oh, honey. I don't think they're around right now, but I'm going to send some emails, possibly set up something tomorrow, if that's all right.
Well, that could work for
I'll
me.
try to get it as. All right. Well, I'll try to get. I'll try to contact them and give everyone a heads up so we can introduce you to them and get a couple of sessions in, and then we'll decide what to do.
Absolutely. Perhaps this time we can. Somebody who eats meat. Not judging you enough. It's just. Maybe they'll understand. A little bit differently.
Well, no, it's fine. I understand. That's why I wanted to give you an option so you can decide.
Ooh.
The whole goal is to make sure that you're comfortable and that you get along with the person that's going to be helping you.
Of course. Anything. I just don't want to be trapped.
All right. I understand.
But I also don't want to be hurting nobody. Whatever it takes.
All right. Well, I'm going to make sure that that you get the help that you need, and I'm going to try and maybe get you out of here if you're
I'm sorry?
all right. Oh, I said I was going to help you get out of here if you're good.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, I will send out some emails. I'll try to get this done as quickly as possible so you can meet them and get some sessions in and yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds fantastic.
All right. I will make sure that I keep in contact with you and let you know what's going on, and we can set up another meeting and hopefully with the others, and yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything you want to tell me?
Well, not too much. I think I've said everything.
All right. Okay, well, I'm gonna go do that right now, and then I will make sure that you are given information and updates on what's going on and when they're available, and we'll go from there.
Oh, fantastic.
All right.
Would it be possible?
So yeah.
Would it be possible for one of the officers to help me get changed? Maybe you can ask them.
Get changed? Oh, you want to change your clothes?
I do. There ain't really any places, any closets inside here. It's just one big jail cell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll ask the officer. I'm going to message them or send them a text to come down here, so.
Oh. Could I also get some meatloaf, please?
Meatloaf? You got to be careful with how you're asking for things.
I don't think I don't follow.
People are still a little touchy about what you've done, and
Well, I can't just turn vegan now, can I?
No, but like I said, you got to be careful of how you word things.
Ooh,
and
of course.
I know. So, do you even eat any vegetables?
Well, of course. Carrots are pretty nice. They got the crunch to it.
Crunch. All right.
What kind of vegetables you like eating?
All of them, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, actually, we actually have one of the therapists. Ooh.
Ooh!
Oh, and yeah, he's also a physical therapist.
Oh, fantastic!
Let me give him a call.
This is gonna be absolutely perfect. I think she's buying everything I'm saying. She does look quite delicious. Scrumptious, even.
What? You need any water? You got plenty of water down here?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you. I could use some meatloaf, though.
All right,
Sorry about
here's
that. We
the
got
situation.
A couple calls and I missed you 311 right away.
Oh no, that's fine. No. There's no rush. It's fine. I'm trying to get as many of our psychologists to speak with him. One is in town right now. They are on their way here, and if it's possible, can we do this again and have him down here speak with him? And there's no rush. Just whenever you get a chance to come back to, you know, let him out again, and I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you don't have to.
I have to speak to the ADA upstairs anyway, so I'll be here for a bit. Who is the
All right.
psychiatrist?
It's Leon Marks.
Okay, and is there any? Just I haven't heard of Mr. Marks.
You've never heard of Mr. Marks?
No, I don't think I have. No. Maybe
Oh, yeah,
I have. I just haven't put a name to the face. But yeah, I'll just need like to get some way to verify that.
Well, I'm
Just because.
I'm head of psychology, and he's on my
Okay,
staff. So
there you go.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. Let's
Ooh.
get out of here.
all right,
Let's go.
all right.
Proceed.
Leon's coming to see you. So just hang tight, and he'll
Oh,
be here really
fantastic.
soon. All right.
I'll see you soon, officer. Ta-ta. Why, hello there. Are you the guy?
I am.
Well, pleasure to
Nice
meet
My
ya.
name is Leon. What is your name?
My name's Garfield. Garfield Henderson. Pleasure to meet you. Ooh.
Pleasure to meet you as well, Garfield. So I've heard a few things. What did you and Miss Pixie talk about?
Well, we talked about a lot of things. About my remorsefulness. Well, the things I did. I didn't have
What
consent.
were those? Have consent. And what type of things did you do?
Well, I hurt some individuals. But I promise you it was the only time I ever did.
Hurt some individuals? How did you hurt them?
Ooh. I don't know if I want to think about it too much.
Well, why would you hurt them in the first place?
Well, I was hungry. And I was thinking, maybe I could get a quick snack.
So you hurt these individuals to eat them?
Ooh. You have to understand,
How many people?
Well, you see, I enjoy human meat. It's why I think I'm in here. Are you familiar with my case at all, Doctor?
I am not, actually.
Oh.
I'm a fresh pair of ears, so fill me in. Whatever exactly have you
Well, you
gotten yourself
see,
into, I suppose?
well, you see, it all started when I had my wife's placenta a long time ago when my child was born. And after that craving, led to my wife allowing me to eat some of her. But it's not a problem. She allowed me to. And I can understand that might gross you out a little bit, but you have to understand, from my perspective, it tastes pretty good. In fact, I would recommend it if it ever comes your way.
It started with your wife's placenta. Any particular reason why you consumed that to begin with?
Well, you understand, it's a cultural thing. That's what they do. It's for, like, depression. After you have a kid.
Aware of that. Eating the placenta may have been a new thing for me to hear, at least, but your wife allowed you to eat pieces of her as well.
Of course. But it's not a problem.
She can...
They were only small bits. It was just something we used to do.
See. And with that, it just became more of a craving. Felt as if you
That's right.
needed more.
I mean, I don't think it's any different than, like, wanting a Twinkie and not being able to get one. And after me
Is
and
it
my
the fact
wife...
that you,
Go ahead.
your wife, did you split up?
Ooh, I don't like bringing up this subject, but my second son, he died in a car accident. And it was too much for her, so she left. Left me alone. And took my son. Oh.
Have you been hurting for a while?
No. I've only done it that one night. And I feel real bad. I didn't think I wasn't really thinking about other people's feelings at the time. But I've been in prison for so long, I realized that the people that love them probably end up feeling the same as I did when I lost my son.
Traumatic experience. I can tell you that, I'm sure. But well, how long ago did your wife leave?
About a year ago. Maybe a little less.
And this was the only time that you decided to take without permission?
Ooh, I did. But I thought it was going to be okay. You see, I didn't think it through. I figured, just a little incision, not a big one. And I sewed it back up. I figured maybe if I put out the reviews, that they would understand and see where I was coming from. But I wasn't thinking straight. I misjudged. Oh!
How often do you get these cravings? These urges to consume?
Well, I haven't had much
Just
of a
remind you.
craving. You see, they didn't taste as good as my wife. In fact, I kind of think the only reason I was eating her in the first place was because I loved her. I wanted her inside of me like I was inside of her. Ooh.
Odd way, I can understand that. It's a sweet, sweet moment. You want to be a part of her as much as she's a part of you.
That's right. I mean, possibly, and maybe with her being gone, I figured maybe if I could perform this ritual with others, maybe I would feel better. But I don't. Nothing's gonna bring my wife back. Unless she chooses to.
I'm trying to put some pieces together. If you can fill me in as much as possible, I can understand.
Of course.
Maybe out of not some hysteria or anything, but more of a clinging to a past relationship. You tried to consume someone, is consumed your wife.
Ooh.
And when you did have pieces of your wife, they weren't obviously life-threatening. Otherwise, that would be a bigger issue. You
No,
didn't
of
want to
course
hurt her,
not.
You just
In fact,
wanted
all
to
the
part of her.
victims that were at the trial, each and every one, it was only a small piece, and I sewed it back up. I didn't want them to die or nothing. In fact, I called 911 just in case.
As far as victims, how many people did you partake on?
Ooh, about 4 or 5. I don't quite remember. I've been in here for so long.
Small,
Actually,
small
it
incisions
was 4 exactly.
or victims?
Yeah.
Now, how long have this or has this been going on?
It was
this
just that
done in a
one
week?
night.
Was this just one night? You cut 4 people to consume them.
Just little pieces, a little nibble, a little midnight snack.
Still, that's What happened the day of? Obviously, you say the one night, but what happened during the day? What were your activities? What do you think set off this craving or this need or want?
Well, I went to work that day, and I remember seeing a postcard. We had them up in a little bit in the bank. People come by, they get their money, and they might pick up a little pamphlet about taking a trip that we can finance. And one of the booklets, it mentioned Tahiti. It reminded me of my wife and our honeymoon. Oh.
With that, did you start feeling a little sad, a little low?
Ooh.
If you were missing someone?
I did.
Got your first victim. How did you meet them?
I called them on the phone. I was really afraid. I didn't want them to misunderstand me. I figured I could show them how I felt and what I was trying to do. But I figured I'd have to show them before they'd understand. Because if you think about it, who's gonna understand if I just were to tell them, hey, did you know the human flesh tastes really good? Can I just have a little bite? They'd probably run away scared. Because they don't understand.
To be honest, from what it sounds like, that was a bond with you and your wife.
Ooh.
That bond is sacred and special. You sharing that bond with other people, especially against their own will, make it sacred.
I think you're right.
You might have craved, you might have wanted, you might have even fiended for her back again, but you took without permission. You took something from these people. Not only did you take their flesh, but you took their security away.
And I realized that it's something I came to understand in time. I didn't realize when I was doing it what exactly I was doing. It wasn't until the trial that I heard from them and how I hurt them that I started to realize I was a monster that night. It wasn't my intention, though. This isn't exactly something I've ever done or want to do in the future.
That's something you hear every day. That's something that you deal with every day. Did you know these people before you,
No,
or you did?
I
know,
didn't.
Just
I didn't know anybody.
strangers that you just called up, and did you meet them somewhere? in particular?
I just met him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just kind of lured him out. I figured a handful of people, maybe I can get them to understand if I just have a little bit of a nibble. Maybe they'll see my great ratings on the internet. Maybe they come to this. They come to understand where I'm coming from, like a display. I figured after I stitched them out and called 911, they'd know I didn't mean any harm to them.
Your wife and these people, what particular part did you cut? Was it arms, legs?
It was a little piece out of their thigh. Same place I sewed back up, so they wouldn't be permanently damaged. It was just a little piece.
Is that the same place that you cut your wife?
Yes, yes, that's exactly it.
You have absolute remorse. Obviously, you didn't mean to hurt these people. You had a bond with your wife at one point, and well, you wanted to share that bond once again and show people that they can have this bond as well.
Maybe that's it. I don't know.
No, you hurt these people. You know that.
I realize that now. It's too bad. I didn't mean to hurt him. Or I didn't think I would. Or that I was. Oh. I want to apologize to each and every one of them for what I did. Maybe they'll understand.
Really, I don't know if that would actually do it. Sure, just them wanting to move on and moving forward. Much as you want to apologize,
No.
it's point. I think it might be too late. Even that as well.
Maybe you're right.
Coming to understanding why you did it, knowing it's wrong, that's what you've been thinking of, as far as just understanding.
Well, I have been. I've been in this cell for some time. It's got me thinking about the trial, and all I can think about is the sad faces that each of the victims had. And I come to realize that it happened because of me. It was my fault. I fucked up.
I understand that. What are you looking to, first come to light of this? Obviously, you miss your wife. Obviously, you wanted to retain some sort of connection to her.
I think I just need to move on. I think maybe,
It's unfortunate.
I don't know.
It is unfortunate what happened to your son, and my condolences, truly. But the way you, I suppose, dealt with the absence of your wife and your overall actions, you do realize that it's a terrible, terrible thing that you did.
I understand. Ooh.
I think I've gotten your name.
It's Garfield.
Oh, right, never. Garfield.
Garfield
My
Henderson.
apologies. Henderson. As far as... Did you meet your wife? If you don't mind me asking. I know this is a touchy subject, but this connection with your wife is a unique one.
She used to be a baker. She used to be in the culinary skills. She used to make cakes. One day she wanted to work at a restaurant, maybe on her own. I don't really see how that's relevant, though.
Trying to understand the relationship between you and your wife.
Ooh. We kind of just met. Well, I was buying myself some cakes. A little ones with the frosting on top. Kind of like cupcakes, but without the top.
And to be honest, this is a unique conversation. Truly.
I understand.
And again, my condolences for your loss, and you've gone through a tough time. Something that I wouldn't wish upon anyone, but
I appreciate that, Doc. Oh.
more of understanding your situation and understanding your stance on it. Obviously, there's remorse. Obviously, you didn't want to hurt anyone. It's more of a rekindling ship of your old relationship.
Oh.
Anything else that you would like to tell me about?
No. I think that covers just about everything. Maybe you could let those I hurt know that I apologize. I'm willing to do whatever's necessary to make them feel better.
Right. I'll see what I can do to make sure that the message gets passed on, knowing the circumstances and knowing why they were chosen and.
Ooh.
So,
Well, thank you, Doc.
but I can.
Ooh.
Take care of yourself, alright?
You too.
If there's anything, then obviously this Plum and myself will probably be around for it.
Okay.
You take care of yourself, okay?
You too.
Yeah, we're done here. One last question.
Of course.
Did you turn yourself in?
No.
Did you run from the police?
They chased me.
But did you run?
I drove off. I was scared. There were so many lights. Helicopters. They had big guns.
You know that's when your actions did have consequences.
Ooh. I don't think it's so much the consequences that those are the ones I was worried about. It was the ones of those I hurt that I realized were the real consequences. The feelings of others. What I did to them. What their families must think. It's not different than how I felt when I lost my son. Ooh. I did that to them. And for that, I'm sorry.
I believe you when you say you're sorry. I truly do. But again, it is a unique situation.
Ooh. I understand.
Take care of yourself, Garfield, alright?
Thank you.
Some clarity will do you good. Understanding, yes, yourself. Pushing for what you truly want, what you've lost.
Ooh.
Take care.
Toodaloo. Ooh. I think I got him to believe me. He'll make a tasty delight as well. Ooh. Ooh.